So let's start with today's topic. So today you're going to learn about closed pack structures. Okay. So when a crystal is formed, you can see here one picture I've put of a crystal. So in the formation of the crystal, these constituent particles are there. No, they will get closely packed with each other. So that packing, that arrangement where maximum number of particles occupy the minimum space, that kind of arrangement is called as closed pack structure. Okay, I'll write it down here. So arrangement, it is the arrangement at which maximum number of particles occupies minimum space. Okay, minimum space is called as closed packed arrangement. Okay, it is called as closed packed arrangement. So it's nothing but when you are packing something, how well you pack them. Okay, so if particles are present attached to each other one after the other, then that kind of arrangement will come under closed pack arrangement. So most of the time when you see the crystals, you can see that they are tightly packed with each other. Okay, and then less number of space is wasted, more number of space will be occupied by them. So maximum number of particles will occupy the space and in the minimum space. Okay, so that kind of arrangement is called as close packed arrangement. So you can write down this definition. So you understood what is close pack structures are or close pack arrangement, like minimum, in the minimum space, how well you pack the things. Okay, how nicely you arrange the particles, that is called as close pack structures. Okay, so now here these constituent particles are there. No, they are the one who are going to pack themselves, correct? So these constituent particles of the crystals may be of varying shapes. They have different shapes and different sizes. So based on that, this close packing can also change. Okay, the mode of close packing also change depending on that. So now to make the thing simple, okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to understand this by taking identical spheres. Okay, so we are going to consider them as a sphere. Okay, because you know atom shape is almost like a sphere, so we are going to consider a sphere and understand this packing. Okay, so now if you want to build a three-dimensional, now this is a three-dimensional structure. Usually the crystals which are formed, they are three-dimensional. Okay, so these three-dimensional structures which are formed, they are built up in three different steps. Okay, first one dimensional structure will be formed, then that one dimensional will lead to two-dimensional. Further, that two-dimensional structure will build themselves to give you 3D structure. Okay, so this is how the crystals are formed. Okay, so three steps are there: one dimensional, two dimensional, and three dimensional. So this is the things which you are going to study under the closed pack structure. Okay, you can even understand if you want to build something. Okay, for example, when you have observed the building, how a building is being formed, you might have seen the construction process. Initially what they do is they construct the wall, correct? No, so constructing a wall is in one dimension. Once the wall is being constructed, once one line is over, then they will go to the next line. Okay, so here you will get now two dimensional. No, one dimensional means only one axis will be involved. When you go for the next line, that means you are involving another axis over there. X and Y both will come, and when two axes come, that will be two dimensional. Okay, then after that they will go further up in the next line. Okay, they will cover up the roof and then they will go to the next one. Okay, that becomes a three dimensional. You get a volume also. Okay, that's how the construction of the building is done. Yeah, height will be the z axis. Okay, so you have three dimensional there. So like that only the crystals are formed. Initially one dimension, then they will go for two dimensional, finally a three dimensional structures will give rise. Okay, so we will start with the learning when atoms are packed in one dimension. So your first topic over here is close packing in one dimension. Okay, so if you are going to arrange this particle in one dimension, what are the way we can arrange them? You can think of only one way, no, to arrange them. So if I have these atoms which I am considering as a sphere, I can arrange this sphere only in one line, correct? No, either in this direction, that direction, or any other direction. But if I'm arranging them in one dimension, I have only this possibility, no, either like this or I can have like this or like this, but you get only a line. Okay, only one line can be formed in one dimension. Okay, so this is the only possible way a spheres can be arranged touching one another. Okay, now when these spheres are in contact with each other, okay, now here if I take the center one, okay, let me consider this as a center, this sphere I'm considering. So you can see this sphere is in contact with how many neighboring sphere? One is on towards their left side and they have another one towards their right side. Okay, so the particles which are exactly in contact with them, okay, that is called as coordination number. Okay, so coordination number means the number of nearest neighboring particle, okay, which are just present attached to them. Okay, so here the star mark one is a particle which I have considered. So next to them you can see there are two neighboring particles. Okay, so here coordination number will be how much then? The coordination number will be, each spheres are in contact with two neighboring spheres, so that means the coordination number is going to be 2. Okay, so followed. One dimensional arrangement means, I'll repeat once again, close packing in one dimension we are discussing here. Okay, where particles are arranged in only one particular axis. So any one axis I'm considering. So this is the only possible way you can arrange them. Okay, one after the other. So when you arrange this particle, if I take randomly one center particle, you can see this center particle is exactly in contact with two neighboring particles. Okay, immediate neighbors, one is on the left side and one you can see on the right side. So this neighboring particles, okay, the nearest, the number of neighboring particles, that's called as coordination number. Okay, the nearest neighboring particle is called as coordination number. So here in this one dimensional arrangement, you can find that the center particle is in contact only with the two neighboring particles. So then the coordination number is called as 2. Okay, the coordination number will become 2. Yes, understood this much what I said? See, the last one, if you are taking, they have coordination number only 1. But we are considering generally, okay, for the whole crystal, usually the center particles we are considering. Okay. But if you talk about this particle, yeah, they don't have another neighbor, they have only one, okay, attached over here, then their coordination number is going to be 1. Yeah, let us go for the next one, that is close packing in 2 dimension. Okay, so you are going to make use of 2 axes now to arrange this particle. So see, there are 2 ways you can arrange. When you are doing 2-dimensional arrangement, close packing in 2-dimensional, it can be done in 2 different ways. Okay, so let's see what are the 2 different ways we can arrange this. See, the first one, if I am taking this sphere over here, I can arrange them. Okay, first line I've taken. This is 1-dimensional now. Okay, now the next thing what you can do is, in first kind of arrangement, the second row which I am going to take, okay, I have to take 2 axes. No, this is 1 axis. Now I have to consider another axis. That is this one. So that means I have to stack the particle above this. So I can stack the particle exactly in a similar way how these particles are arranged. Okay, the below particles, how they are arranged. No, like that only I am going to stack them. So above this I am going to stack. Okay, so this is one kind of arrangement we can get. Again, like this only I am going to stack. So here, this first kind of arrangement which we have done, no, that we will assume as A. Okay, because it has one kind of arrangement, one after the other they are arranged. Okay, now about this, if you see, this is also in a similar fashion as the below one. So this is again a same repetition, so that means it is A type only. Again above that also you are having same kind of arrangement. Okay, so then this time this kind of arrangement which we have done, it is called as A type of arrangement. Okay, where you are having the particles arranged in a row. First particles we have arranged in a row, and the second one which we have stacked, it is having a similar alignment with the first one. Okay, so their arrangements are similar. The first one, the second row and the third row, all of them are having same kind of arrangement. So we are going to call them as AA kind of arrangement. Okay, so this kind of arrangement is called as A type of arrangement. All of them are of a similar kind. Okay, now if you count the coordination number for this. See, now if I take a center one, because majority are in the center, no? So usually we calculate the coordination number for the center particle, okay? You can exclude the one which are present in the outside because they will be less in number. More of them will be inside. So if I take this particle, see how many particles they are exactly in contact with, okay? Exact in contact with. So this is the center particle which I've taken. See here, immediate contact. One is here, this side towards the right hand side. Then we have towards the left hand side. Okay. And then we have above. And then we have below. Yes, very good. That answer is correct. So you can see here, 4 particles are exactly in contact with this particular sphere. Okay. And if you join this, the center of each sphere, okay, you will get this kind of geometry. Okay, you can see here a square kind of a geometry you are able to get. Okay, so it is also called as packing. This packing is also called as square close packing in 2-dimensional, because you get a square, you will get a square. Okay, all the sides will be equal if you join the center of each and every sphere. Okay, you will get a square, so it is called as square close packing. So here each sphere is in contact with 4 of its neighboring sphere. So therefore the coordination number is going to be 4, and you get a square here, so it is called as square close packing in 2-dimension. Okay, so you can write it down now. Yes, okay, we'll go for the next one now. See, I said there are 2 kind of arrangement. One you have seen, one is square close packing in 2-dimensional. The other one you see, second one. Okay, first we can arrange them in 1-dimensional, and that is only this fashion you can arrange. Okay, now once this is over, if you want some other arrangement, what you have to do is you have to place a sphere in the depression of these 2 atoms. Okay, these are the 2 atoms, so you are going to place in between this. Okay, where the space is there, no? So in between that, in the depression, okay, the place which is here, so there we are going to place. Okay, so when you place it in the depression, see, if I take first as A type, then the second one arrangement is not similar to the first one. No, they are in some other place. Okay, so then we consider this as B type. Now again, above this, if you are going to place, okay, then this third one, the third row is similar to the first one. Okay, so again this will be A type. Then again you can place in the depression. Okay, like this. Above this you can place. Okay, in this way you can place over here. Then that will become B type. No, because they will be in alignment with the B type. Getting? So what type of arrangement it will be? This will be AB type of arrangement. Okay, AB type of arrangement. Yes. Okay, and it continues like that throughout. If you are going to arrange this atoms, it will continue like that only. No other arrangement will be possible. Okay, AB type of arrangement. Okay, now let's come to the coordination number. If I take this as a center, okay, this is sphere. If I am taking center over here, yeah. Now see how many atoms they are in exactly contact with. So if you see here, one I have 1, and then we have 2, then 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Correct? Yes, very good. Okay, so 6. Now if you join the center of each sphere, okay, so see what kind of shape you are going to get. You are going to get a shape of hexagon. Yes. Okay. So you will end up getting, say, shape of the hexagon. So this is called as hexagonal close packing in 2-dimensional. Okay, because the shape is like that. So hexagonal close packing in 2-dimensional, and the coordination number is going to be 6, because the center atom over here is exactly in contact with the 6th sphere. Okay. This arrangement I told you, it's AB type. Each sphere is in contact with 6 neighboring sphere. So coordination number is going to be 6. Okay. So this is your second type. Hexagonal close packing arrangement in 2-dimensional. So write it down, students. Okay. This arrangement is AB type of arrangement. You can write here. This arrangement is AB type of arrangement. Yes, let's go for the next close packing. That is close packing in 3-dimension. Okay, so here again we have different ways of packing them. Close packing in 3-dimensional. So here we are going to do, first way is where you are going to get the three-dimensional arrangement by taking the 2D square close packing. Okay, so we are going to consider 2D square. Okay, you remember that 2D square just now what we did. Okay, where a type of arrangement you have observed. Okay, so you had particles like this. Okay, you have A type, again above that you are having A type. So this will be your base. Okay, getting the point? This will be your base. This you are going to keep down. Okay, so this, based on this 2D arrangement, you are going to stack the volume. Okay, so this will be like your base, correct? Imagine this is a sheet. Okay, so if you have one sheet, above that you are placing the next one like this. Okay, so this will be down as a base, and above that first one. Okay, this will be the base one. Above that same thing you are going to stack one above the other. So when you stack it like that, one above the other, then you will get a 3D structure. Okay, so this arrangement will be observed. Okay, you can see this picture which I have placed over here. Okay, this is the arrangement you are going to get after you place that square packed layers one above the other. Okay, so again, this type of arrangement, what you are going to get will be, it will be called as AA type of arrangement itself, because you have taken the 2D square layer which are having same arrangement, and same thing you have stacked one above the other. You have not changed the arrangement. Okay, one above the other we have placed the same thing. Okay, so like this you can see here. Okay, down we have the base, and above that we have stacked the same thing. Okay, if you take a bread now, see, imagine if you have bread, and if you keep placing bread one above the other, okay, then you will end up getting a cube, no? So that's how this arrangement is. Okay, so finally you get a 3D structure. So it's AA type of arrangement. Okay, and this arrangement is called as, the final structure is called as simple cubic lattice. Okay, because everywhere simple, it is like primitive only. No, you can see here. See, center if I take, you can see four spheres I am having front, and then four spheres will be behind. So continuously you are going to get that primitive structure, okay, which is also called as simple cubic. So you will get simple cubic lattice. Throughout that unit cells are there, no? They are having simple cubic unit cell only throughout, okay? Now we have to calculate the coordination number for this. Can you think what will be the coordination number? Let me see if you are able to get. Try by yourself first, okay? If you want, I will assign the atom. See, you take this as the center atom. So if you take this as a center atom, how many spheres they are exactly in contact with? Imagine this is in the center, okay? How many spheres exactly they are in contact with? Very good. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Yeah, any other answer? Six is the correct answer, okay? I've got many sixes. Six is the correct answer. See, how I will tell you. Now, if you take the center one, okay, let me take the base one. See here, this is the center atom, no? Okay, you imagine in now 3D. Okay, you have to use your imagination now, only then you will be able to understand. So now, if I am taking this as a center, immediate contact, see, one here, two, three, and then four. Okay, so imagine this is the base. The star one is the base here. So they are exactly in contact with four. One, two, behind, and then front. Okay, four are over. Then exactly above this and the below one. So how many? Six, correct? So coordination number will be 6 here. Understood? How it is 6? Exact atoms which are touching this center one. Okay. So we have one here towards your left side, one towards the right side, one behind, and one in front, one above and one below. Only these atoms are touching this one. Okay. So it is 6. So coordination number is 6. Write down. Okay. Let's go for the next one. Next is, you're going to get the three-dimensional close packing by taking 2D hexagonal close pack structure. Okay, so that means your base is going to be 2D hexagonal layer. So you're going to place, now second layer we are going to place over the first layer. Okay, hexagonal will be your base, and over that you are going to place a second layer. Okay, so we are going to place in that, again you are having two types. So we are going to take this one first, placing second layer over the first layer. Okay, so you can see below one is the hexagonal close packing. Okay, and above that in the depression it is being placed. So it is not having a same kind of arrangement. Okay. So here the first kind is A type, and then we have placed on the depression. See, hexagonal is like this. If you want, I will show it over here. Okay, this is how your arrangement is. Hexagonal base if you are taking, this is how it is, no? This is the hexagonal base. Okay, AB type of arrangement. Now what we are going to do is, when you are placing the second layer, this is your first layer. On top of this, when you are going to place, you are not going to place exactly above this. We are going to place it over here. Okay, in this point, you can see a space over here. This space is there. No, in between that you are going to place. So like this here. Okay, then I can place it over here on this side. Then here in this depression. Able to get? So in this place we are going to place it. Okay, so now you see where exactly I can exactly place it. If I take the first layer, how many places like empty space you are getting? You can see here, if I take this is 6 sphere, 1 2 3 4 5 6, I am getting here this is space, 1 here, 2 here, okay, 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6. Okay, these are the spaces which we get. Okay, now can you place in all the space which is available? You can't place 6 sphere in the 6 spaces, correct? How many exactly you can place? You can place actually only 3. Okay, see, observe here. I can place one over here. Okay, so if I've placed one here, I can't place it over here. Okay, in this place I can't place. I have to place it on this side. Okay, so alternate you can place, and then leaving the fourth one I have to place in the sixth one, fifth one, then sixth one will be left vacant. Okay, so you can see here, you can place only in this places, alternate place you can place it. Okay, able to get this point what I am saying? When you place the second layer, okay, you can't place exactly on all the empty spaces. You can place them only in the alternate space. Okay, if you have any marble at your home, you can try this, students. You place one hexagonal layer, or if you have spears, you have tennis ball, okay, or even those playing balls are there. No, if you have that, you just place and check. Okay, so you won't be able to place it in the all the empty spaces. You can place it alternatively. Okay, so only these spears can come. So when you place the second layer, actually you end up getting some empty space there. Okay, so I'll go for that topic. So you get an empty space. You can see here, this is our hexagonal layer. So when I place it over here, the second layer on top of this, okay, on top of this, you get this empty space. And that empty space which you are getting, that is called as void. Okay, this interstitial space what you are getting, that's called as void. Okay, so void is nothing but a empty space which is present between the particles in this crystal. Okay, so when you place it there, you get actually two kind of empty spaces. See, that is when you place it here, 3 atoms which are there on the first layer. Okay, exactly when you place above this, okay, the void which is formed, okay, this void is, the shape of that void is like a tetrahedron. So this void is called as tetrahedral void. Okay, and this void is formed because of the 4 sphere touching each other. Okay, this is 4 spheres, when they touch each other, a tetrahedron shape kind of an empty space is created. That's called as tetrahedral void. Another one is created, you can see here, if you place the atom in this way. Okay, in this fashion there are spheres which are coming in this way if they are placed. So when you see this void which is created, it is different than compared to the first one. Okay, so this void which is there, their shape is like a octahedron. Okay, this is the octahedron. So when you see that shape, octahedron shape, then that void will be called as octahedral void, and that is formed because of the void surrounded by 6 spheres.